So I welcome you all to uias, and uh, my name is Saurabh Pandey. Let's discuss about this important topic.
Singapore executed a 46-year-old man Wednesday after he was accused of coordinating a roughly 2-pound marijuana delivery, despite pleas for clemency and protests that he was convicted on weak evidence. Tangaraju Suppiah was hanged during the early morning hours in Changi Prison, Singapore Prison Service said in a statement to multiple outlets. Despite not being caught with the drugs, Tangaraju was found guilty and sentenced to death in October 2018 for abetting the trafficking of 2.2 pounds of cannabis. Prosecutors in the Asian island state said he conspired with another man to deliver the marijuana. Trafficking more than 1.2 pounds of marijuana is grounds for the death penalty, under Singaporean law. According to a tweet from activist Kirsten Han of the Transformative Justice Collective, which advocates abolishing the death penalty in Singapore, Tangaraju's family was given the death certificate after the morning hanging. An application filed Monday by Tangaraju for a stay of execution was dismissed by a local court without an oral hearing. Attempts by family and activists to push Singapore President Halim Yaacob to grant the man clemency were unsuccessful. Prosecutors said phone numbers traced him as the person responsible for coordinating the delivery of the drugs even though he was not caught with them. Tangaraju had maintained that he was not the one communicating with the others connected to the case. Spokesperson for the Switzerland-based office called on the Singapore government to adopt a formal moratorium on executions for drug-related offences. Singapore authorities say there is a deterrent effect of the death penalty, citing studies that traffickers carry amounts below the threshold that would bring a death penalty. Death penalty imposition for drugs in Singapore varies drastically from nearby countries. In Thailand, cannabis has essentially been legalized, and Malaysia has ended the mandatory death penalty for serious crimes. Country's first execution in 6 months. Tangaraju's death marked Singapore's first execution in 6 months. The Anti-Death Penalty Asia Network, a regional network of organizations and individuals committed to working towards abolishing the death penalty in the Asia-Pacific, decried Tangaraju's execution. The continued use of the death penalty by the Singaporean government is an act of flagrant disregard for international human rights norms and casts aspersion on the legitimacy of Singapore's criminal justice system. Anti-death penalty campaigners say that the case encapsulates Singapore's ardent use of capital punishment, which is often imposed despite flimsy or circumstantial evidence. This punishment also falls overwhelmingly on the lower rungs of the drug trafficking networks, and thus does little effectively to stem the flow of drugs across Singapore's borders. Cannabis in Singapore is currently illegal for recreational purposes, but medicinal purposes has been allowed under extraordinary circumstances in recent years. Possession or consumption can result in a maximum of 10 years in prison, with a possible fine of $20,000, as well as caning, under the Misuse of Drugs Act. Trafficking, import or export of more than 500 grams may result in the death penalty.
So I hope ये सेशन आपके लिए काफ़ी हेल्पफुल रहा होगा. Don't forget to subscribe uias चैनल. ऐसे बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियोस के लिए uias चैनल को जरूर से सब्सक्राइब करें. द हिंदू सेशन आपका सुबह 7 से 7:15 बजे के बीच में होता है. IAS एग्जाम की अगर आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो अनअकैडमी से आप जरूर से जुड़ें. लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दिया हुआ है, उस लिंक में आपको क्लिक करना है. यू हैव टू पुट द कोड SPLIVE. आप ऑफलाइन के लिए जुड़ सकते हैं. ऑफलाइन का बैच भी शुरू हो रहा है. आप जो डिफरेंट बैच कोर्सेस ऑनलाइन, वो भी उसका भी आप हिस्सा बन सकते हैं. मेरे द्वारा भी कई सारे कोर्सेस आपके लाए गए हैं, चाहे वो ज्योग्राफी एनवायरनमेंट साइंस का, ज्योग्राफी एनवायरनमेंट एग्रीकल्चर का कोर्स हो या साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का कोर्स है. ऐसे बहुत सारे जो कोर्सेस हैं वो आपके लिए लेकर आए गए हैं, तो उनको भी आप ज्वाइन करें. अनअकैडमी के साथ जुड़कर आप लाइव क्लासेस कर सकते हैं और अपनी प्रिपरेशन को अच्छा कर सकते हैं. टेस्ट सीरीज़ हैं, बुकलेट्स हैं, एवरीथिंग इज़ अवेलेबल. तो ज़रूर से जुड़ें और सारे अपडेट के लिए uias चैनल को आप लोग ज़रूर से सब्सक्राइब करें. थैंक यू एवरीवन. थैंक यू.